Hey, what's up you guys? Bright2J here with an all-new Yay Toys Plus, and today's review is going to be on the Mezco Toyz 112 Collective Catwoman figure. I've actually had this figure for a little over a month, bought it down in California at Comic and Figure Addicts. I'll get more into that momentarily. So with that being said, let's take a closer look at Catwoman. So before I get into talking about the figure, I just want to give a big shout out to Comic and Figure Addicts. Juan, your place is great, dude. It's a shame that I live across the country because you're probably one of the best stores I've been in the world that I know very well. And shout out to Shartimus Prime for being my Uber driver, hanging out that day from Tommy's. That place was so great. I love the diviness. I love the food. That Thanksgiving Sloppy Joe sandwich were just... my mouth waters thinking about it. So if you guys are watching, thank you for everything. Seriously, if you guys could ever make it out to the West Coast, do it. You know, if you guys are not from there. Just like I'm sure people living in the West Coast, like, oh, if you can ever make it to the East Coast. Look, I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised, and I was like, damn, I need to move to the West. But anyway, I'm just rambling. Let's get into Catwoman, huh? So this is actually a replacement Catwoman. I'm not going to give the full story about what happened. Let's just say she survived me messing around with her in the hotel. She survived being jostled around through airport security and home. I never unpacked my bag, took her to work, and she snapped on me coming out of the box. So this is actually a replacement Catwoman. I managed to just get it replaced. And that's all I'm going to say on that. So, let's talk Catwoman. This is, again, probably one of the most fragile figures I've ever owned. Outside of the Dark Knight Rises Catwoman from about 3 years ago, where that had peg issues. So, and that's also when Mafex wasn't great with their QC. So Catwoman, she's great. I just wish she had, excuse me guys, she's great. I just wish she had more articulation. That's where she falls flat. She comes with a decent amount of accessories, which I'll talk about. But it's just like, come on. You pay for an $80 figure. I'm mad enough with Marvel Legends figures not having a lot of articulation when it comes to females. So, like, Mezco should have went above and beyond and got more articulation for Catwoman, especially because she's the thief in the night. And she looks great standing next to Batman. Like, for example, here's my Ascending Knight. And it looks good. You know, she's the right height for him. But, you know, here you have a male figure and there's more articulation. But yeah, that's just a couple of gripes there. So, real quick, sorry I haven't been reviewing. My work gets busy during the holiday season. That's what happens when you work in wine and spirits and you're the manager and holiday seasons. So I know I need to record, but I just either A, don't have the time, or B, just too tired for it. So today, luckily, got nothing going on. Gotta pump this one out. I'm gonna try to record more. We'll see. And shout out to you guys for my subscriber count going up. As I checked yesterday, we reached 291. So thank you. I know it's been a while. You know, I know I have videos that need to be recorded and published and stuff. So thank you guys for being patient. You guys rock. So now, with me being done rambling on, let's get into talking about Catwoman. And like her articulation and accessories and all the good stuff. Okay, so but right before I get into accessories, I just want to show you something real quick. Here are the tiny little pegs for her tiny little hands. So keep that in mind when, if my camera wants to focus. All right, so keep that in mind when swapping out pieces. You might want to use a heater or heat gun or hair dryer. Hot water works too, just to loosen up everything and make sure that it'll work. So yeah, that's why I left her hands blank. The head peg is the same for the most part. And it's, you know, that fatter peg, so you don't have to worry. Well, still worry, be optimistic, be cautious, and all that good stuff. Just, you know, you see it's not as, you know, flimsy as, say, the wrist pegs. All right, so with that being said, and I delayed the accessories long enough, let's get started. I'm going to leave her headless and handless just for a moment. We'll just take her out of the view. All right, so you're already seeing that head. That's the smirk. Got a closer look there. Camera does not want to focus today. All right, so yeah, there's the smirk. Then you get the gritted teeth. One thing noticeable about the smirk, if you look, her eyes are looking over to, you know, to the side. So like, so yeah, to the left is what I meant. You get the Selena Kyle unmasked head. This looks really good. I do love the pixie cut that they gave her because that's kind of what she has now in the comic. Really, really nicely detailed and sculpted on these heads. Their artists are really good. Like, I love their the detailing, and I mean, like, with each Mezco, they get better and better, in my opinion. For the head, you get a pair of her goggles, kind of rubberized material, and I'll show you real quick on the smirk head. To put them on, go from the bottom, and then you'll see it right there. So that's how you get the goggles on the head. You know, just make sure you got it lined up with the eyes. And it looks great. I like to keep these on her, actually, because that's more like the Catwoman that I know from the comics. More like the Jim Lee Hush version, I want to say. And, well, kind of a crossbreed between that and, say, like the Scott Snyder Capullo run from, like, Eternal. So, yeah. There's that. So those are the heads. She comes with a set of clawed hands, like open scratch hands. And they look really good. She comes with, this hand is open and it has like the point, and you can put the whip in there. And then you have the more closed one, which you saw at the start, that the whip can also fit in. And they're really nice. The paintwork is kind of a dull gray. It's hard to see on the camera. It looks really good though. And then she got a pair of fists, and they're not identical. One fist has more like the thumb being out, and then this one is kind of more bent downward. Could just be mine, I'm not sure. I've never seen that before. And again, nice paintwork, nice sculpt work. She comes with, of course, her whip. It is flexible, however, it's not bendable. And it looks pretty cool. I like the, you know, tassels toward the end there. All in all, it looks pretty good. It's hard to see through the camera, but there's a lot of fine detail work. It looks braided. So, and actually, it almost looks like if you took, they got like that craft string. I feel like you can replace it with just craft string, you know, to make your own. Like something you'd pick up in Michael's or something. So I might do that as a secondary whip. I don't know yet. That looks really cool. And then lastly, you got her backpack. I have yet to put this on her because I'm afraid, but This looks great, all in all. This is very reminiscent of modern day Catwoman. You know, she has to put her object somewhere that she steals. And then it's not really an accessory, but it's part of her. And that's over here on the belt. You got her tools. This thing opens up and this flap opens. And you get that there. And that looks great. Nice sculpt work in there. You can see on the bottom there, like the pickpocketing tools. Really, really great. Do like this a lot. Just wish she wasn't so damn fragile. So yeah, let's put the head on with the goggles just to show you. And then I'll put on the, guess I'll put on the whip hands. I'm going to do this off camera, so hang tight. Alright, sorry about that. Just wanted to make sure that I didn't knock over my camera or break my figure. But yeah, they look pretty good. You can see there's like that hint of paint in the shine there. And that's her accessories. She does, of course, come with the display stand and the Ziploc, but you guys already know. I'll just give you a quick overlay of the stand. I don't have the base part out right now, but I'll show you guys later. It's just reminiscent of the box, you know, nice and shiny. You see my microphone and myself in the background. Hi. So yeah, smudge and, you know, scratch, you know, all over, but all good. So there's that. Like I said, you get the Ziploc as well as the plug for the base. And I'll show you guys, you know, I'll take a picture toward the end of the video and put it. As you guys know, in every Mezco video, you know, there's always the display that I put out. Make sure our goggles are on better. As for articulation, I'm going to go over this, and it's very delicate. Her head can look down about that much, so not far at all. Back about that far, side to side, you know, pivot. Her arms can go out, this worries me all the time, about that far. Careful. Single jointed elbow goes out about that far. You can get her arm pretty much all the way up, but you don't want to go really any further without ripping the fabric, of course. She does have full mobility in the wrists. They go up and down, side to side, and just be careful which way you turn the joint. I wish that was a real zipper, but it's not, because that's more modern day Catwoman, but you kind of, I guess, want this PG. So she does have decent ab crunch. Goes back pretty far. Does she have waist articulation? I forget. She does have a little bit of waist articulation. Her legs can go out roughly that far. Just you don't want to go anymore. You don't want to rip the fabric. Kicks out that far. Back, not really that far at all. She does have some thigh swivel. Here's where it gets tricky, and I don't want to break it. I'll show you on this knee. They go about that far. I think it could go a little bit more, but I'm not risking it again. She does have top of the boot rotation, and she does have up and down on the foot and not great ankle articulation. So she's very weak in the articulation. Aesthetically, she looks great, but again, with the very weak joints, I'm afraid to move her any more than what I just did. Alright, well, that's pretty much it. I mean, she's a great piece. I give her like a 3 out of 5. You know, maybe 2.5 out of 5. Only because I fear her joints. And that I had to, you know, oops, and she fell over. Don't need that now. Yeah. I worry because she's very fragile. As I said, aesthetically, she looks great. But for an $80 figure, she should have had tighter, or not tighter, but stronger, sturdier joints. I I know I don't have any other female Mezcos. I'm not a fan of the DC universe, so I didn't collect. I stopped collecting after Superman. I'm now just going comic book based stuff. So like, I know the only other females that they had released were Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn, and Wonder Woman. And I don't know how sturdy or how weak those were, so I can't judge. But for this Catwoman, she should have had a lot sturdier joints. Because, again, you pay $85 or $80, whatever it is with tax, 4-figure, and she's weak as hell. She looks great aesthetically, but you can't pose her around without risking anything, and that's an issue. So, other than that, if you want to get her, it's up to you. If you want to collect your comic DC universe, she looks great against Batman. But just be very careful when posing her around. Alright, so I think I've rambled on enough. I'm just gonna give you guys, my social medias and stuff. So again, thank you so much for continuing to be supportive of the channel, even though I haven't been able to review anything. So seriously, guys, thank you. Once again, you guys rock. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at YayToysPlus. I'm also on Twitter at Bry_2J. You can, of course, find this video on my YouTube channel, YayToysPlus. Hit the like button if you liked it. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. For those of you that subscribed, please share, comment if there's anything you need, or you guys have suggestions on what I should review. I'm open to suggestions. Sorry, it's been a long day. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. You could, of course, eventually find this video on InnerCityGeeks.com when I have time to post. Oh yeah, so shout out to Toy Fair, as they granted me press for a third year in a row. So I'm super excited. Come February, I will be doing my press stuff. If you guys haven't checked out the Inner City Geeks podcast, please do so. We're on Google and we're on SoundCloud. So yeah, check us out. There's some that's my latest blog, my thoughts on the late great Stan Lee. So, it's a shame. It sucks, but it is what it is. All right, guys. So thank you guys, and I will see you guys when I can. So, once the holiday season is over, I'll be back more and more, not just, one video every other week or whatever I've been doing. So, again, thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one.